Welcome back everyone to another video where, yes, it's finally time to discuss what a few of you have been asking me about. My Raptor BCX. What are my thoughts after one full season? And is it still holding up like it should starting the next season? Let's dive into it. Now, as with any crossbow, I think there's pluses and minuses, right? There's going to be stuff you like, and there's going to be stuff you don't like. But I'm going to be brutally honest here. There is not much that I don't like about this crossbow. Now, I've had quite a few crossbows. I just sold a Killer Instinct Hero 380, right? I've used a few Wicked Ridges. Those were a little older, but man, I did not like those. I might like the newer ones, but at the time when I used those, I didn't like them, right? I have the center point amped 425, which I do really like. But when it's time to go hunting, when it's time to grab a bow, I just am drawn to this. And why is that? What makes this my go-to bow? One, just comfort. I've talked about this so much. You have rubber here. You have rubber here. You have rubber here. This folds in. For me, I usually have that in, right? But some of you, spot and stalk guys, you might want that out, right? It's narrow. That's a good plus, right? The scope is very nice. It's a speed ring scope. Once it's dialed in, it is dialed. One of the huge things for me, safety. This safety is so easy to use and so quiet. It's right there, easy thumb reach. I love the safety. I love the Trigger Tech trigger, right? All the things that they tout about this bow, it's great. They really are. One of the most underrated things is this ball hold. I was just filming a video where I was shooting the center point amp 425, and it drove me nuts that they don't have something to hold that cocking rope. That little ball hold is amazing. Once you get used to that, you're going to be mad if you don't have it. And let's get to the next thing, right? How is it holding up? How is it holding up? Well, let's try to get a close-up here. I'm not sure you could see it there, but the cables, the strings, they look great. The serving barely has any wear from where I clip the bolts on. Now, one little disclaimer note about that is I use the lighted knocks 90% of the time. And I do that on purpose because they don't click on as hard. Now, if you use the metal knocks, which you did see me use one in my last video, if you use those metal knocks, yes, they clip on a little harder, and it might, disclaimer, it might wear that serving out a little faster. But I use the lighted knocks for 90% of it, and there's hardly any wear on that serving. Obviously, there's going to be a little, it's shot 100 some shots. But my string looks brand new. My cables, they look brand new. There's not anything there that's concerning me right now. And this is year 2. I think that is key. I think they've kind of got it toned or narrowed, dialed in, right? Especially with the new T-Rex coming out this year and the new decocking options. They're going to have that figured out, right? And you guys saw my problems with my Raptor a few years ago. But ever since I got the BCX, it's got some heavier limbs. I haven't had any issues, right? Knock on wood, but not really. I honestly just haven't had any issues. And I'm very impressed with this bow. Now let's talk accuracy, right? Let's talk accuracy. Now let's not talk accuracy yet. Let's talk cocking. Now I have seen online complaints about cocking this as far as people are scared of the cocker and, you know, they just have trouble doing it. I guess I don't quite understand that. I think if you are choosing to have a rope cocking bow, then you have to know it's going to be a little difficult. I mean, it's 425 feet per second, or something around there usually, right? Obviously, give or take. And you're rope cocking it. So you don't expect it to be the easiest thing in the world. But honestly, it's really not hard. It's not hard at all. Look at how narrow that is. Cocked. That's just crazy. It's not hard to cock. Now you need to be careful when cocking it and make sure that you're pulling up and also back towards you. Make sure you're keeping that sled right on the rail. Kind of go up until you feel like you're trying to put your hands in your hoodie pockets, right? That would be how you want to make sure you cock this. But it cocks great. And it's really not that hard. If you like rope cocking like me, it's not hard to rope. So, I was just shooting this. There's the lighted knock for you guys. Loading it. This is another complaint I've seen. Loading it is difficult because of the halo. It's really not. The first few times you'll struggle, but I've figured out a system, right? What I do is I you can see there, I actually use the top of the halo until I get it in to the brush there. So I use that to help actually put pressure on the arrow until it slides into the brush. Then you're not fumbling around because you don't want to put your hand down further. And then always, always, always with this, make sure you push it in until you hear it click. Which I did. I was just double checking. Look at that. Look at that safety. Quiet, smooth. That's what a lot of crossbows are missing. Now, let's talk about one more thing. Is it accurate? Do I find that this bow is accurate? I find that this bow is extremely accurate. If it's missing, it's usually on me. So I'm not sure where I set it, but I actually brought 2 bolts out here. I only have one to shoot with because I hit my other bolt. I did hit my other bolt. I don't know if you can see that. I hit the knock. Like, if these were a standard diameter, I think I would have Robin Hooded that thing. And I just busted the knock right off of it. I essentially Robin Hooded my other arrow, right? And that's freehanding it. Imagine if you're stable. You have this thing shooting in a rest or in one of those bog holders or on a shooting rail. If you have it dialed, it stays dialed. I just brought it out and started shooting. And it's shooting pretty stinking good. Now, as with any of us shooting, right, we have our ups and downs. We're going to jerk, we're going to shake, things of that nature. So not every shot is going to be perfect, but I'm freehanding it from 25 yards. This isn't a bad shot. I mean, I obviously jerked a little, but not bad. By the way, check out my other video on this American whitetail dead reckoning target. This thing is sweet. Look at that. I mean, it's hard to beat that shot. Obviously, you could beat it by being a little bit over to the left, but that would kill a deer, right? And that's what I'm saying. So I guess call me a Barnett fanboy if you want. I'd take that. I'm a big fan of Barnett. Also a fan of center point and reverse draw crossbows, or reverse limb, I guess I should say. I'm a fan of a lot of different crossbow stuff. And yet, that Raptor BCX, still my favorite bow. Was I nervous about it at first? Well, yeah. It's a weapon. Shooting fast. If you're not a little bit nervous, maybe don't get yourself one. But once you shoot it a few times and you start hitting your own bolts, I think you'll be convinced too. You're not paying near as much as a lot of other brands. You can pay a lot. A lot. Raven. Or you can get the job done for less than half of the price. Raven. Just ignore that bug. So, I guess I just wanted to make a quick video and say, year number 2, I've already got probably 10, 15 shots in this season. I got more than that. So I'm probably at like 150 something shots on that string and cable, if not more. I'm just guessing. I don't have a counter. I'm just guessing. And they look great. Take care of your stuff. I wax that thing regularly. Waxed it before I came out here. I've taken 4, 5, 6 shots. Gonna wax it again. Gonna put some lubricant on that rail, right? I got some rail snot. Make sure you do that. Even if it's just sitting, hanging on my wall for a little while, I'll do that. Take care of this stuff, right? And then it works, and it works well. Guys, I love my Raptor BCX. And I'm not just saying that because I work with Barnett. I'm saying that because it's a good bow. I've had no problems. I can't tell you I've had problems with the BCX. Did I have problems with the Raptor? Yeah. I guess I had some problems with the scope on the BCX before this. But come to find out, that was probably my error. So, but they handled it, right? So ultimately, I've had really no issues, especially with the strings, the servings, the cables, what you guys might be concerned about. They've been solid. They look great. I showed you that. They look great. So if you're looking for a nice solid bow, maybe you don't want to pay the money for the decocking yet. Maybe you don't want to get the T-Rex and get way up in that price range. But you want something maybe a little more than the Raptor. Check it out, guys. It's a really nice bow at a great price. And on year number 2, I don't really have anything bad to say. Except for, make sure you get a target that can handle that little collar there. Then you're good. The nice thing, you could shoot headhunters if you wanted to. That's an option. Then you're using a standard diameter bolt. Anyways, thanks for coming and checking out the video, guys. Obviously, there will be more. Hunting season is upon us. Big Storms, my brother, Big Storms, he was just on fishing with me. He wants to try to get a turkey this year and a deer. He got his first deer last year. Was it anything to write home about? No. It's just a button buck. But it was his first deer ever, and man, was that awesome. So we're hoping to get him on something again this year, and maybe get a turkey. That might be a challenge. We'll catch you on the next one. Please subscribe, guys, and just kind of stay tuned for more videos like this.